So Mr. Reynolds, how do we want to do this today? We're talking about our high school four-year plan with endorsements. Do you want to be the counselor or the student today?
Well, let me be the student this time.
Okay. So guys, we are going to show you how to do a high school four-year plan. This is your assignment for today. Now, when we do this, you are going to be doing it by yourself. In order to get 100, when we look at your four-year plan, we have to see that you have all the requirements for graduation. That's it. That's all you need to do. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put Mr. Reynolds' name on it. And I'm going to move it to the proper folder.
So please make sure that you move it to your maps folder. It makes it so much easier to find.
I'm actually going to create a different folder because we do it so much that I'm putting things in a dump folder just because otherwise we have like 60 million copies of it.
Yes, I end up renaming all of mine. Delete me.
So I'm going to change it to Northside. And because this is for Mr. Reynolds, I'm actually going to share it with him, but you guys don't need to do this, this part. All right. So now I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to do a split screen so you guys can see what we are doing according with the lesson plan. Although I think it might just be recording. Is it? Oh, it is recording both. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Never done this with split screen for Screencastify, so we'll make sure to see if this actually works or not.
Yeah, we'll see if it works or not. This will be fun.
So then we're going to put your name here. And Mr. Reynolds, if we take a look at our endorsement plans, which strand for endorsement would you prefer?
Okay, so when I looked at these endorsements, I can't say that I wanted just one. I want like robotics, teaching, slightly interested in law enforcement, but probably not enough to follow it, construction, and computer science.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I'm really interested in, I'll probably just go with construction and carpentry though, because it's really leads to my strengths because I grew up building things and helping Dad around the farm. So construction and carpentry.
All right.
So what we do is when you click on that, then it'll open up the description of what the actual endorsement is about. On the sheet, because it is under business and industry, we'll put that in.
You put business and industry, not carpentry.
Oh, right. Haha. I said what I was thinking.
I did that last period too, I'm pretty sure at first. So then Mr. Reynolds is also going to bold carpentry so that it shows easily. And what I did is when I was filling this out for myself is every time I filled a requirement, I bolded it. That way I knew that I was checking them off, okay?
Yep.
So
and the requirements are found at the very bottom of that page.
Yes. If you look here at the second page, it shows you all the endorsement classes you have to take from 9th through 12th grade. It tells you how many credits they're worth. So for instance, Construction Tech 2 is worth 2 credits. Construction Tech 1 and the management class, because you have to take them at the same time, it's considered a actual class and a lab, okay? So like when you take certain science classes in college, you have to take the biology and the biology lab at the same time. because one is the actual learning about it and the other one is the application. So because they are both taken at the same time, they are also 2 credits, even though they are 2 classes. And then you would have your career prep and your extended career preparation, which would be 1 class, but worth 3 credits.
Yep.
So you will see at the bottom here, your additional requirements are on here, and then everything else you need for your core classes is already written down. So in order to continue doing this, I'm going to first pull up your freshman planning guide so you can see what you can do freshman year. All right?
Cool.
All right, so I'm going to walk you through it, and as you walk through it, I want you to bold and write things in for me.
Okay.
So for English 1, you have either the regular or the pre-AP course.
Okay. And honestly, I'm already in the pre-AP section for middle school, so I think that I'm going to continue on with that. I'm having fun with it, and it's something that I'm good at.
Super.
Also, it looks better on college transcripts, and I know that at some point I want to do that.
Awesome. Now, we are going to let you guys know that if you are in history pre-AP or science pre-AP, they do not count as high school credit. Ask your teacher, especially for like Spanish, please make sure that you double check with your teacher that it is high school credit and how many high school credits it is. So if you took a high school credit last year for Spanish and you're taking one this year for Spanish, you would have both of your language requirements. But if you're only taking high school credit this year, you only have 1 credit. So you need to make sure how much of your Spanish or your language requirement you are fulfilling by doing this here. That's my caveat. Okay, now math. Do you want to go algebra pre-AP? Did you take algebra here at Pease so you can go on to geometry?
I did not take the advanced algebra here at Pease, so I'm just going to stick with algebra 1 right now. I realized after I didn't that I probably would have been better served to do it because it would have freed up some courses in high school, but I didn't.
Okay.
So, great old algebra. Now, biology. I actually like biology. I like knowing how things work. So I think I might just go pre-AP on that one.
Sounds good.
And world geography, I've heard about this, okay? So I really like human geography, which is kind of like a
anthropology
class. It's like how people influence the world around them and how the world around them influences how people live there and how they used to live. And so I'm more interested in the human geography AP one.
Okay. So we're not going to bold the whole world geography, just the human geo AP. So that way we know that that's the class you're going to take. Okay. You're taking biology, so that has to be bolded. Now PE, you can either take PE or you can take a PE equivalent. If you go down here, you'll see that there are athletics here, and it does also tell you for physical education that the substitutes include athletics, band flags, dance, pep squad, and ROTC.
Well, somehow I don't see myself in dance class.
Okay, here are all the types of athletics.
So basketball, I actually never played basketball growing up. Diving, I don't mind heights, but I don't like jumping off them. Football would be fun, but I've kind of got this in my head that I kind of want to keep the first year simple. So I'm probably just going to do swimming. That way I'm in one athletic endeavor the entire year instead of changing up what it is that I'm doing. I'll probably just do swim.
So somebody asked if we're taking pre-AP in math right now, that's algebra, correct? And so you would take geometry next year. I would double check that the class you're taking is algebra and not just a pre-AP class. So check with your teacher. This is something that you need to know. If it should say if it's high school credit or not. And again, if you just don't know, the best policy always is to check with your teacher. The worst they can say is no.
Yes. And the other thing about swim and almost every other athletic is there are tryouts. And we have people every year try out for swim and not make it. So,
and because they don't have something else, they end up going in PE.
Yep. So language, I'm actually pretty weak in Spanish, like I transferred in late. So I'm gonna try and test. Because I know there's Spanish 1, but I think I might be able to test into Spanish 2.
Yes. So
pre-AP.
If you are not in Spanish, but you are good at Spanish, and you're one of those types of people that you just can't stand to be in a class where it's really easy, and you don't want to take another language, then I can tell you from personal experience, I went from private to public. And even though I took Spanish for almost 10 years of my life, I didn't have the credit. So I asked the counselor and I asked my Spanish teacher if I could take the test to go into Spanish 2. So I took it. I ended up in Spanish 2. And so my second credit was Spanish 3. That way I was ready when I needed to take my high school, when I needed to take my college language classes.
So I think that's right. I'll sign up for Spanish 1, but try and test into Spanish 2.
Yes.
So,
if you don't feel like you know anything about that language, don't try testing into it.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I suggest, Mr. Reynolds. For your endorsement elective or your elective, I suggest you take that principles class for construction, which you have to take anyways as part of construction, because if you don't like your construction class, then you can use it as one of your elective credits. But if you don't take it now, one, you'll have to take it later anyways, and two, then you don't know until later whether or not you like construction.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that's your 9th grade year. Does anyone have questions about that at this moment? So somebody said, what if in 7th grade I went in Spanish 4 and this year I'm in Spanish 4? Am I still going to get credit or no because I did it last year? Rolando, did your teacher tell you if it was high school credit last year? So it was high school credit, and you're taking Spanish 4 again this year? Okay, then I would double check with your teacher, but I'm pretty sure, Rolando, then you're done with your language credit. That would be 2 years, and you would be done with your Spanish, with your language credits. So double check with your Spanish teacher, but if you're done with it, then what I would do is for language, when you're writing in here, then you can just put next to it, done.
And then next to it, you can take up an extra elective or something that helps you with your endorsement.
So that way, once you get down here, you can go ahead and highlight it and bold it and say, I finished my graduation requirements for my language. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you, Mr. Reynolds, you went to P's and you took your speech class. Did you have less than 8 absences and at least a 75 or higher?
Oh, yeah. One of the easiest classes I've ever taken.
Cool. Then right away, I'm going to go ahead and bold that because you don't need that. You're done.
Thank you.
So your 9th grade year is done. You're all set. So let's go on to 10th grade.
Okay, so for 10th grade,
Do you want to
English
continue
two,
doing
English-
AP? In
Yeah.
by 10th grade, you're starting to
AP.
take AP, or you can take dual credit. If you take dual credit and you have at least a B, when you end the class, you will have college credit without having to take the AP exam.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to take regular geometry. I like it because geometry is important when you're building,
Are you sure?
and so I'll need it for construction. Chemistry, I'm not real excited about it, so I'll just take it. World history, once again, I think I want to stay with AP to try and keep cases. The thing with AP is that there are quality points added, so you can actually get a higher overall grade for it. So I'll do that. And then let's see, what do I need to do for construction?
So for
Looks
construction, the next thing on here is called construction science. I did that weird. That was weird. So it's otherwise known as principles of architecture. You don't have to put the whole thing, just construction science, and it's 8139. So I'm going to go ahead and bold your geometry, your chemistry, and your WAP class.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Now, for this, do we have to put one for each category, or we can just put one? So you are just doing one. You do not want to do one for each category. Oh, no, 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 no. The question was asked, Mr. Reynolds, for the endorsements, do we have to put one for each category?
No. You do one endorsement. Because what it does is it helps shape the courses that you're going to take during high school. And there are some certificates and, other endorsements that say that, hey, this person can do this type of thing really well. And so that's what your course of study will do. It'll give you a focus that will help you as you try and get into jobs in the university or the trade schools. So please, you're just going to choose one. If you really can't choose, then there is a multidisciplinary endorsement, which means you're not endorsed in anything, you just try everything. It's really long and complicated, and it doesn't help you to move forward anywhere very well, but if you really don't know, then that's what you end up with. It just means that you take I would have to check with the high school counselor to make sure, but I believe it's 3 courses in every discipline. So 3 Englishes, 3 maths, 3 sciences, 3 social studies, 3 arts, 3, you get it, right? It becomes complex. Now let's see. So I'm scrolling down on mine because I'm pretty sure I need to do one more credit.
You need one more one more of your Spanish credits.
Yeah, so I'll do one more Spanish.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and scroll down and take that off.
Let's pretend I'm really good. I can do Spanish 3 dual.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the dual credit comes in. It's on Spanish 3. Because, while we're pretending I'm really good at languages, I might as well, right? So, or what I would probably do is stay with Spanish 3 AP or with Spanish 3 regular, depending on how well I was doing. Or I might do dual credit. It just depends.
Now, you can, at this point, you do need your fine arts credit, and you also need half a credit of health.
Okay. So if I do health,
Mm-hmm.
then what do I pair it with?
So you can either pair it with another elective, or some athletics like swim or sometimes dance will do a 0-hour class as long as you talk to the coach, which means that you would be a part of that course, that athletics, for before or after school. And then if you do the half a credit of health, then once health was done, you would go into that class for athletics.
So I'm gonna talk to coach and see if I can do a 0 hour. Hopefully he still wants me after having me last year. And then that'll cover it.
Okay, so that's 1 credit for this, 1 credit for this, and potentially 1.5 credits here.
1.5. Yep.
All right. Now let's go into our 11th grade year. So Mr. Reynolds is going to put in if he wants AP or dual credit for these. Now, if you took your algebra class before, then by 11th grade, you would be done with your, no. This is real, I'm sorry guys, I'm getting distracted because someone has their phone on and it's doing a feedback and they're not in the room right now. But by 11th grade, you would be taking your last advanced math class if you took algebra this year.
Yeah, this would be advanced math right here. But I didn't do the advanced math course, so now I have to work harder. So I'll be taking Algebra 2. I'll be taking physics and U.S. history because I need to. If I'm doing English 3 AP dual, and I'm going to start getting into the meatier parts, the more difficult parts of my construction work. So I'm going to be doing construction tech I 1 and 1M. And that's 2 credits, I believe. Yeah, 2 credits. And so as we're looking at it, since this is 2 credits, it's most likely 2 class periods. I would love to take Tech 2 at this point, but I don't know if I can. It seems like I should be able to. Someone from Arkansas is calling me. I hung up on them.
I can't do it, and it's irritating me. Okay, sorry guys. I was trying to figure that out. It wasn't working. Anyways. So yes, you would take construction 1 and 2, 1 and the management class. And then you can go ahead and take construction 2.
Yeah, I believe I can take 2 at the same time. Because these are finishing skills in the second one, and the first one is just educational requirements and career opportunities. So one's kind of how to do it, and the other one's practically actually doing it.
Mm-hmm. So then this is 2 credits as well. So you still need to take your fine arts credit.
Okay. So if I need a fine arts credit, there are a lot of things I can do. Mm-hmm. Like I can do theater, I can do art, I can do several other things. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Tech Theater 1.
Okay, because it works with your endorsement, right?
It works with my construction stuff, and I can help me practice my building skills.
Sounds great.
I don't think it has any other numbers.
Nope, it's just Tech 1. There are no actual numbers for it. The only time that they really focus on that is for your endorsement. So that is 1 credit.
So if you look at this, this is a lot of credits. That is a full load, like a very full load. And you'll notice I don't have swim 11th grade because I didn't make room for it. And all of you that are in like football or basketball, you're gonna have to think about that and make sure that you get as many courses done as you can in advance.
Right.
So senior year.
Your fine arts credit is done, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight that.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So my senior year, I don't remember if English 4 is also dual credit or not.
Yes, it is dual credit. I took dual credit in high school.
Actually, it's AP dual, isn't it?
Yes.
Technically.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be taking an advanced math course, an advanced science course. There are multiple different sciences, people.
Yes.
But we can't find them on our course catalog today, and I don't know why. It's
So,
just not there.
There are things like astronomy. There is aquatic science, marine biology. There is, I know for math, you can do computer science classes, as well as getting into like trig. For an advanced math class too, they do have college algebra. So, Mr. Reynolds, if you're not great at math, you might want to take college algebra.
Yes.
Now, for now, guys, because you don't know, might as well just put advanced math. Don't worry about the type of math. Once you talk to your counselor, they can tell you what they recommend.
And your course of study will change recommendations as you go through. Like
Yes.
if you're doing really well at things, they'll recommend more advanced things, more advanced courses, because they'll look a lot better on your transcripts and they'll give you education and training that you can use later on.
Right. And if there's a science class,
so-
for instance, if I did mine in teaching or English, and I really like astronomy, just because I do, then for my advanced science class, I might just take it like a fun course. Now, you do need government and economics. I suggest, unless you're really good at economics, that you take it as regular. You can take it as pre-AP or at AP. But I took economics as a regulars, and it was hard enough as it was. Economics is things like the Dow Jones and stock and business stuff. So
Yeah. It's,
be aware of that.
I've taken courses that are easy and courses that like gave me a conniption fit.
So then you have 3 more things to put in here. For construction, though, you only need 2 more classes. Now, just because there are 2 more classes, it doesn't mean that they're only 2 credits. These are actually 3 credits. He has to take career prep and extended career prep. And they both count for 3 credits total. So the career prep, it doesn't count as a credit because you have to take the extended career prep too. It takes up 2 courses, and that's because they want to spend, as you end up taking your 7th and 8th period to work in those jobs, because you have to spend, the students spend 1 hour in each class every day, a minimum of 15 hours on the job each week. So because you're going to your class, which means going to a job site, they end up taking up 2 class periods.
Yep.
Now, Mr. Reynolds may decide by doing carpentry, he may want to have an off period as his last course, just because he wants time to get to his job. Let's say he's going to Stevens and his job is over down by the medical center. That's at least a 30-minute drive. So he might want to do that and maybe go and stop at Starbucks on the way and get something to drink. So if he wants to have that 45 minutes, just so he doesn't fall asleep, he might need some coffee. Then he just might decide to do an off period so he can have time to transit. Okay, with this, Mr. Reynolds, you have everything you need to graduate.
Thank you, Ms. Leha. You've been a wonderful counselor.
Awesome.